Good afternoon, folks. This is day 16, October, I think 25th today. And going to be a really short one. The goal is less than 10 minutes and getting some advice about not keeping these too long. Anyway, so the agenda today is, as it stated, if you saw the email or the description, it's about, it's a nice day. I'm letting my skin breathe today because I've been in clothing. It's been foggy and cold. A lot of days, and then we're in clothing, and then noticing sweating at night. It's part of this detox process, and I'm on my third round of anti-parasites. So the forward momentum, today's day 16. I had aimed for 21 days. It's technically day 18 because I stopped a few things over the weekend before. So my cleanse will end Tuesday, day 16, 17, 18, 19. It'll end on day 19 on Friday. I'll break the cleanse probably for the community dinner this Friday night. And not so one of the points of cleansing is this forward momentum is one of the intentions is to leave something behind, And so for me, a couple of the biggies was getting in bed earlier, which the intention's been great. And then night guy and morning guy are more in a relationship again. Morning guy's been a little bit pissed because of staying up late. So that's part of, so that relationship is like, don't go into the late night eating. If you're up late, just don't eat late. And one of the remedies was the standard process detox shake, the SP Detox Balanced Chai flavor with a little bit of cream and water. Ended up holding me over last night. I kind of slept a little better with a little bit of food, liquid food in my stomach. And ideally might have just been some raw butter with egg and honey, a little custard that for someone like me that needs the calories and burns calories quickly, that's a good remedy. So the forward momentum is great. And then there's a document called The Power of Purpose done by Chris Kyle and the Mankind Project, probably, 8-9 years ago. And I still use it because it's so helpful. There's the fear, the distraction vortex, and there's another one that I forgot. And if anybody wants to look at that, we can put it on tomorrow, The Power of Purpose. And I modified that a little bit for my own, but that could be tomorrow's talk. So let's go to a quick screen share today. And I did some more parameters. Oh, that's the whiteboard. Sorry. Going to share the screen. There we go. All right, so today's a quickie, and I did some exam parameters that may interest you. So we're going to talk about iris and SCLERA reading, and we're also going to talk about, so let's blow this up a little bit. This is a spreadsheet accessible by anyone. So if you would like the link to this, you can go to the website or get on the email list. And I need to reverse these, but notice I've been wondering about adrenal fatigue. So see, you want this top reading to rise. So this one down here should be 135/85, pulse of 68. And that's a caffeine response. It's a tired adrenal response, but not catastrophic, drop 10. Then today, this is basically on 2 tea bags of black tea. Literally right after that, I just forgot to do it earlier with cream and honey and my food-based concentrates. So you'll notice what tends to happen with me when I'm on caffeine is you'll notice this rise is even higher. It's a 21-point rise versus 17. And that's a caffeinated response. And sometimes there's a heart palpitation, but it fell 12 today and the diastolic rose 13. So that's a little bit of like overstimulation of the system. And that should be obvious just looking at that for anybody. And then I put in here also, see black tea and a little bit of edible cannabis earlier. Haven't done pH yet today, but we're going to do some photos. I did some breath holding. 22 seconds holding the breath out is the minimum. Oh, excuse me, that's the wrong one. That should be reversed there. Yeah, let's reverse those. There we go. So the breath hold in is always longer, but you just see your CO2 recycling abilities. And you want to be able to recycle CO2, especially if you're a blood type O, because you need that little bit slightly more acidic system that to work with your minerals and your proteins and your pH compartments. So I've noticed, I'm a little down on that, but my lung capacity is very large. So got somewhere around 24, 30 seconds. What you do is you exhale all the air out And then you hold it out until there's sort of a, a little spasm or a quiver of air hunger. You don't want to like push it. This isn't an ego contest. This is like a genuine, sincere, when's that first couple? And so for me, I'm so good at holding my breath. I got to 24, about 30, somewhere in that range. I was like, I should probably call it a range. And so that's barely acceptable in a lot of pranayama books. And then the holding in 40 to 44 seconds, that's decent, but I could work on that. So that's a marker of my acidity and how well I'm recycling CO2. Haven't done a spit test. And as far as a couple of days ago, no gas really. Itchy lower end went away with the anti-parasites. And then the appetite has been a little bit excessive. And that's due to the parasite pills. They're wiping something out. All right, then off to quickly on the cell owner's manual. Cell power restoration is broadly effective at treating autoimmune. And then they go into detox, and his definition, this is Mark Squibb, the cell owner's manual I've been looking at now for this whole entire video blog. Toxin accumulation is a result of stress, which inhibits the detox. Constipation, think. Toxic accumulation is an inability to eliminate toxins, and that's, are you not draining toxins? Are you not transforming toxins? And so you have fat soluble toxins. You can read this yourself later, and water soluble. Detoxification, but toxins are carried out of the body. No, I don't agree with that. That's drainage. That's my foundation for. Detoxification is the transformation and transmutation of toxins. Okay. And he goes into pathogens. So we won't go into that now, but it's a little preview there. As far as the supplements, I'm doing pretty well with my schedule. And then today, the final thing we're going to do is check out this and this. So this is iridology and sclerology. So we're going to go over very quickly to, so in iridology, you have these zones right here from 1 to 7 in the colored part of the eye, and see they correspond to different systems of the body. As you can see right here, we can blow that up a little more. As you can see, it corresponds to different systems of the body. And then there's also physical resiliency. So I'm going to point myself out here. So notice the physical resiliency, this is my right eye. And then notice the resiliency is strong. And then we'll go to the left eye. Okay, right, and that's the lung zone right there. So my left eye lung zone with that dark patch right there, this is 2009, folks. So this is 13 years old and my eyes have changed a lot. A lot of this pigmentation here has gone away. And these lymphatic pearls, you see these little dots around the periphery here, that's lymphatic congestion. It lines up perfect with my presentation in health. And again, notice the dark ring, that's poor circulation on the skin and the orifices and the dermis and all that. And also anything that's a periphery of the body. And then see the creamy colored dots, that's the congestion of the lymph just underneath that. And then you see these rings here. See that white ring there and there? Those are cramp rings. And guess where those are? Those are on the right side, lower belly. And so a little bit of cramping there. So that's kind of how iridology can be a very helpful tool. And I'll show you the rest of this real quick here. So see, there's different ways you can look at the iris. See the digestive system there, the glandular system there. See, there's a circulatory system, lymphatic congestion there, reproductive system there, nervous system up in that's the top of the eye there, structural system, a lot of different parts there. So you can see all these different eyes here, and we'll go through this over the next few days when I'm finishing this up. And see there's the pearls again, the lymphatic pearls they're called, lymphatic rosary. And see, there's all kinds of different ways to assess the eye. And I'm about 13 years into this now, and see some of the really good way, see how different people's eyes are. So we'll leave that aside now, and then we'll go to the sclera, which is the white of the eye. Oh, one other iris photo I'll show you. This is a couple of cancer patients here, and I did a collection of anonymous photos here. And so what I'm showing is that what blue there again is that's poor circulation again. Why? Well, and then see that's lymphatic congestion there. And then again, see that dark area around the iris there. So that's all cancer. And look at all these red. This is what a person with cancer looks like. Get rid of that now. So the sclera is a much more difficult and a lot of stuff to look at, but think the sclera or the white of the eye should be white, okay? And there's the bottom of my eye, the lower organs, and there's the top of my eye, and that's one of the better looking brain zones you'll ever see. Look how white that is compared to a lot of people. That's very few. And we want to reset that. There we go. Reset. Maybe that's one larger. No, that's more. Let's restart. Okay, got to recapture that image. That's fine. We're not going to work with that much anyway. So in this one, you can see in my lower eye, the outside of the right eye on the left here, that's the liver processing area on the right side of the body and the ascending colon. And then this on the other side here. So you see both of my sides, the spleen and the liver that are transformation filtering organs are a little bit clogged up. And those lines you see there are actually damage lines. So I'm not going to go any more into this now, but notice the orange yellow pigmentation. That's also liver. And then notice there's a purplish hue down here, and that's blood stagnation. These photos aren't new. They're from about 1.5 years ago. So they're going to look a little better probably now. We can get rid of that. Get rid of that. All right. And then the last one was this. See, most basic line in the sclera is just a straight line in the white of the eye there. Then a congestion line you can see is crooked, a short branch, and there's a long branch. See, and the more branches there are, the more problem there is. And so they're showing here is just different types of lines, see? Hooks, forks, heat bubbles. See if you got skin problems. It tells you what to look for. Emotional lines, heart and vascular. So it's giving you a little sneak preview today, and we're going to close all the tabs. As far as Craig's ability to stay on track, the main thing was my intentions were to end the video blog today at about 10 minutes. Is the takeaway today is the forward momentum of the intentions I set earlier on that 21-day graph. I'm not going to go into that today. And sticking with, okay, what's the basics umbrella I can stick with? The basic food chart, because I'm a bit of a perfectionist. So, okay, I can drop back into that. I don't have to do all the challenges. I'm doing an enema right after this. So I'll be, doing an enema. And it's a 3-part sequence, and maybe we'll do that tomorrow, like what the enema looks like, and that's for drainage. Again, detoxification is not the removal of toxins. In my world, it's the transmutation, transformation of them, throwing them in the garbage can, which are some of the the filters of the body, the lymph nodes, spleen, liver, bowels, and then it gets flushed out, whether it's through the bowels, the urine, the lungs. But generally, you want to bind this stuff in the intestines and carry it out. And so what I do is a soluble fiber like flax, chia, or psyllium with a clay. In this case, I'm doing the zeolite. And the Premier Research Lab Medi clay is also a nice product. And then the danger of that, though, is that if you do too much clay, you can pull minerals out because it's an adsorpting agent. So along with the bad minerals, you can chelate out the good ones. And that's why I do these tests. I did a little tongue shot today, and it's still looking a little bit too red. If you're following the video blogs, the tip's a little swollen. So that's part of that's that vegan SP detox shake. I do much better on the raw liver for a snack or a raw protein, especially at night. But I don't want to eat protein too close to bed. No, as anybody else. So the other cleansing parameters were alcohol, no, that's easier for me to stay away from. Coffee, no. Today was another tough day, but if I know I've got something, had a conversation today about pu'er, raw pu'er, cooked pu'er, fermented pu'er, green tea, matcha, black tea. And this man, I just adore him, but I had to, tell him, like, the materia medica of food and herbs clearly states tea is cold, dry energy. So it stimulates, you get warm and you get motivated, and then the energy switches around, and there's a cold, dry, astringent tannic acids in there. And it really, for a thin person, it's not the most strategic thing. And so we want to enjoy our indulgence, but we don't want to also rationalize it as a daily thing, per se. And let's see. So for me, that's not been difficult off the coffee, because I just go into fromCraig Veto, and I was in the store today, and I actually bought a cold brew quart of coffee to put up the other end. And I've been adamant with myself, it's like, if I'm going to buy this fromCraig Veto, this is not going in this end, it's going in the other end to finish off the cleanse. So laugh out loud. I'll let you know how that goes tomorrow. The other ones were raw as much as possible. That's been very good. And that's an easy parameter. And then make sure getting enough rest and sleep. And that's also been somewhat successful. All right, folks, video blog signing out. We're at about 15 minutes. Sorry, a little bit longer, but all right. Bless you all.